Hi there, and welcome to our overview demo of the Bullhorn and Greenshades experience that is really centered around how we give our light industrial customers an incredible experience by providing a best-of-breed and purpose-built solution for light industrial staffing operations. My name is Andrew. I'm a solution consultant here at Bullhorn, and I'm going to be leading us through our demo today. I work very closely with many of our strategic and high-volume light industrial customers and help them explore technology to find the best solutions that fit their unique business requirements. Joining me today from the Greenshades team is Amber, who is a light industrial and payroll subject matter expert who shares the same vision of helping her clients streamline and improve their payroll and tax operations. Now, what we're going to cover in our demo today is really the power of the platform that allows light industrial staffing firms to differentiate and streamline their business by providing end-to-end processes in a single solution. With Bullhorn One, sales and recruiting, middle office, and the connectivity to back office systems provides unmatched configurability, speed, and agility, all while delivering an incredible candidate and customer experience. Built right into each one of these workflows are elements of automation and AI that help supercharge the productivity of your entire organization, allowing you to make more placements quicker. And what we're going to see on our demo today is a bit of a slimmer version of this entire process, where I'm going to take us from a worker placement to time collection and then through pay and bill. And as we talk about the payroll process, Amber's going to walk us through the integrated payroll workflow within Greenshades. The idea here being that by leveraging a best-of-breed solution that is purpose-built for light industrial staffing, you will be able to unify all teams in a single platform and future-proof the business as you grow and scale. So with this in mind, let's transition into our demo and see what this looks like in action. Now, today for our demo, we're going to pick up right here towards the end of our front office workflows where we've just made a placement. The candidate we're going to be working with today is Jack. He's a seasoned forklift operator who's coming back to work with our firm. And for his next assignment, he's going to be working in a warehouse at Bose Corporation, where he'll be driving a forklift, managing inventory, and of course, ultimately assisting with other warehousing operations as needed. Now, within Jack's placement record, and whether I'm the recruiter who placed him, a member of the sales team, or simply just overseeing his pay and bill from an operational standpoint, consider this placement record as the source of truth for all applicable and pertinent details about this worker and his assignment. And so we're centralizing all of the important information here and providing quick access to these details about the company, about the job, the placement, all of that critical information living here in one spot. Now, as we place Jack on his assignment, there's a few elements of automation built right into the platform that are going to ensure that he is paid and billed appropriately, and that we are adhering to our contractual requirements with our customers. And we're going to take a look at two ways that Bullhorn does exactly that. So firstly, with rate cards, and these are the source of truth for your pay and bill rates for each assignment. So what we're able to do with these rate cards is essentially build rules into the platform that say, anytime we have a forklift operator at Bose Corporation warehouse in Ohio, assign these associated pay and bill rates with these specific markups. So this becomes really important as you grow and scale, that you're adhering to this type of contractual compliance and that it's automated so that you're always paying and billing accurately without manual intervention. It's important to note here as well that these are the pay and bill rates that will flow to Greenshades as new and redeployed workers are being placed on their assignments. The second pillar of automation here within the pay and bill process is going to be the concept of time interpretation driven through our pay and bill rules engine. So what we're able to do is essentially set upstream rules at the corporation, at the client, the job level regarding how we want time to be interpreted based on requirements from customers and or federal and state requirements, such as some of the ones being dictated by California. And so a simple example of this could be something like paying Jack overtime over 40 hours worked, but not necessarily billing the customer the overtime bill rate once he surpasses 45 hours in a given week. This is an example of something that may be written into a customer contract and historically may have been a manual process to ensure compliance and accuracy each pay and bill cycle. The idea with all of this is that we can have totally separate pay and bill rules such that when time is entered, it is run through these rules, automatically calculated appropriately each and every week across every customer, allowing you to scale. And so we spent the first few moments here taking a look at what a recruiter or a member of the operations team might see as they are quickly and easily getting their workers ready to start their new assignment. All of those proper pay and bill rates and the time interpretation rules have been set at the customer and job level and will automatically cascade down to the appropriate placements. If we switch our perspective here for just a moment, I wanted to highlight what that worker experience looks like as they are completing their applications and their onboarding workflows. And so what we're looking at right now is an example of the Bullhorn Talent Platform. And from the perspective of Jack, who he's already completed his application and just needs to quickly sign a few e-docs before he shows up on site at Bose for his new assignment. Now, within the talent platform, candidates are able to complete their application, their onboarding, drive self-service, and many other talent-related tasks, all from a single sign-on and right from their PC or their mobile device. Now, in the case of our demo today, and specifically thinking about worker onboarding, they're easily able to complete key federal and tax documents like their I-9, their W-4, state tax forms, all of that information right from within the talent platform. All of this corresponding data then flows right into Greenshades to automatically stand up and update a candidate profile. And we know how important it is, specifically within light industrial staffing, to be able to pay workers on time and accurately. And so alongside any of those other onboarding tasks that need to be completed, workers can also easily provide their pay card or their direct deposit information right into the talent platform, which seamlessly transmits to Greenshades to get those workers ready for accurate and on-time payroll processing. Now, in summary, as workers are being onboarded and placed and prepared to start their new assignments, Bullhorn provides really that seamless experience for internal users and candidates alike, and really drives an incredible experience from the onboarding, the self-service perspective, and a single place to complete all talent-related tasks throughout the duration of a worker's assignment. And so with these candidates being onboarded, ready to start, let's fast forward this part of the journey just a little bit. And I wanted to pick us up at the point of time collection and talk about the myriad of ways that we can streamline, automate, and digitize time collection with Bullhorn One. And so when we think about time in the context of light industrial staffing, we recognize that each customer and their requirements are likely going to be unique. Many customers may prefer paper time cards and sending texts or emails of approved hours each week, whereas others may have a more streamlined and digital approach by way of physical clocks or perhaps mobile punching with geofencing. And with these unique requirements in mind, Bullhorn provides an entire suite of automated and digital timekeeping methods that are purpose-built for the requirements of each of your customers. So when we talk about digitizing time, we can enable workers to self-service and punch in and out from their mobile phones, PCs, or even kiosk style and physical time clocks at their work sites. All of this will be dependent upon requirements from your customers and ultimately enabling a seamless collection experience. As we look into some of the other timekeeping options here, such as the VMS import, transaction uploader, rapid time entry, we also provide a handful of other ways to import, collect, and review time when we receive it from other timekeeping systems or perhaps spreadsheets. So the idea with all of these methods is that they work in tandem to provide a comprehensive digital timekeeping experience, which gives your payroll teams unparalleled visibility into the process. In doing so, you'll have stronger workforce management capabilities and reduced risk by way of compliance and labor laws, and ultimately a better experience for your workers and internal stakeholders alike. Now, as this time is being collected and interpreted via our time and labor rules, all of this data is going to be reportable and visible right within Bullhorn for your team to be able to review and take any action here as necessary. Now, in the vast majority of cases, no action will be required, as all of those upstream rules that we have set are going to be taking care of the time calculations accordingly. And what we're looking at right now is a global view of all timesheets within Bullhorn. And so regardless of the time collection method like we just discussed, this is going to centralize and provide real-time visibility into all time cards as they are being collected with each pay and bill cycle. Now, much like the other list views within Bullhorn, each user will then have their own personalized user experience, which allows them to sort and filter by any of these individual columns here. We can also add and remove different fields, or even leverage a save search for quick access, which allows you to view time cards in whichever way suits you best. Maybe that's by company, by job, by weekending, whatever the case may be. Now, through the binocular slide out, we're also able to have a deeper look into the time being collected, the associated pay and bill transactions with this time, and then even having time cards or timesheet backup to review here as necessary, providing your team with full visibility every step of the way. Now, as that time is being collected and approved, it is going to flow directly into our payables view, which is going to be our final checkpoint before sending over to Greenshades for payroll processing. Now, in a similar fashion to the timesheets, the payables list view will operate very similarly, where each user can sort and filter and review this information in the way that suits them best. And the idea with the payables is that we really shouldn't need to be spending too much time here reviewing timesheet data. That was all done and automated a bit earlier in the process. Now, our final stop before payroll is just simply queuing up our transactions and time cards, which are ready to pay, and then simply coming in here and running our payroll export. Now, in doing so, this payroll export will take the approved and ready to pay time and via API transmit this data right over to Greenshades for payroll processing. Now, in a quick summary, before I hand it over to Amber, we just walked through the streamlined and digitized placement, onboarding, and time capture process, all of which is centralized in the Bullhorn platform to provide unparalleled visibility and control to your pay and bill operations. So with that, I'm going to hand things over to Amber to quickly walk through the payroll and tax processing workflows in Greenshades.
Thanks, Andrew. So when Greenshades receives the hours from Bullhorn, we're going to immediately start looking for a payroll batch to apply those hours to. If there's already a pay run in progress that the hours would apply to, we'll go ahead and load those hours in. Otherwise, we can go ahead and start a new pay run to apply those hours to. When that data is being sent over from Bullhorn, we're also going to be receiving candidate data. So I'm going to quickly show an employee record so we can see the type of data that's coming over from Bullhorn. From the employee card, we're going to apply all of the information we receive from Bullhorn, including pay code, earning code data, benefits, and deduction codes. Those can be managed on the individual employee record. They can also be managed in bulk if more broad changes need to be made. From the employee record, garnishments and other involuntary withholdings can also be managed. So clients can come in here, let us know what type of garnishment they'll be working with, and apply all of the necessary details to that garnishment. And then we will be able to determine the priority of that garnishment along with any other garnishments that may be applied to the employee, as well as ensure that we're not over withholding any garnishment amounts. Greenshades is also going to be able to help out with ACA compliance. So as benefit packages are added into the Greenshades system, clients can let us know whether those plans meet minimum essential coverage and minimum value. And we can determine the full-time and non-full-time status of employees based on the codes that we see applied to them. Throughout the year, clients can go to the employee record at any time and see what codes are being applied to the employee on a month-by-month basis. We also do have a more broad ACA dashboard where you could see overall throughout the organization how those 1095Cs will be looking at year end. Heading back to the payroll side of things, I'm going to go ahead and get into that pay run that we just received hours for. So on the Greenshade side, clients will be able to review hours and earnings broken out by earning code type. They'll also be able to see additional details like position, department, location. If there are any additional fields that are being tracked, we can support as many different custom fields as needed so clients can get really granular about what sort of data they're including in their pay runs. Moving forward to deductions, we are going to be able to display all of the deductions that are applying for each pay run. These fields are going to be dynamic, so if there are ever any changes that need to be made to the deductions information on the fly, they can easily be made here, including things like child support orders. So although we'll be calculating how much should be withheld for any involuntary deductions that are being tracked, clients will have the ability to override those calculations if needed. Benefits are going to be managed the same way that deductions are, so clients, if needed, can easily make adjustments to the benefits amounts here. And then if there's ever instances where employees go into arrears, for example, if they take some time off and continue to have enough pay to cover those benefit amounts, we can go ahead and set up an arrearage and collect back any funds in future pay runs. On the final step of the pay run, we're going to provide a lot of data showing the overall totals for the pay run. We're also going to include information on individual pay statements. So you can easily come in here and see exactly what each employee is expecting to receive. After the pay run is completed, this data will be sent back to Bullhorn. So on the Bullhorn side of things, all of these pay statements would be available for review as well. Once that pay run is submitted, clients will be brought to the post-pay run workflow where they can go about paying their employees. So Greenshades will provide a direct deposit ACH file as well as a garnishment ACH file that can be used to pay out any child support garnishments. For any paper checks that are going out, Greenshades can help out with that process as well. We can either print and mail checks directly to employees, or we can provide a download batch that can be used to distribute those checks in-house. After that, we'll have a few totals reports. We'll have benefits and deductions totals. We'll have tax liability totals for this particular pay run, but we also will be able to help with full tax management, which I'll get into in just a moment. We're going to provide garnishments totals during this post-pay run workflow as well. And then the final step is going to allow clients to download payroll reports if needed. So when the time comes to pay taxes, clients will be brought to this payroll tax service dashboard. Greenshades will be able to calculate all of the withholding information based on historical information. We can help determine the remittance schedule for all jurisdictions that are being tracked. So when the due dates for any of those federal, state, or local taxes come around, all the client will need to do is come to this dashboard, review the information, and push through those filings. The client is still going to be the submitter of record, so Greenshades will just be submitting those filings on behalf of the client. And in the future, if there's ever the need to review historical filing information, all of that data will still be available on the Greenshades side. Come year end, we are able to help out with 1095-C and W-2 distribution as well. We'll be able to pull all of the data for those filings and create the forms and e-files, so clients can go ahead and work with those forms, distribute them, and print and mail if needed. Through the payroll dashboard, there are a few other actions available for clients. So if ever there's the need to adjust an already completed pay run, clients can easily come in here, let us know what happened and how the pay run should have looked, and Greenshades can help out with correcting all the back-end calculations and all of the tax calculations associated with that pay run. We also do support off-cycle pay runs, so clients can run as many pay runs as needed at no additional cost. And we offer gross up and what if calculators to help out with various calculations. If checks are being written through Greenshades, we can also void those same checks. So if ever there's the need to reissue a check, it's very simple for the client to come in and manage that on their own. Now that we've taken a look at the payroll and tax side of things, I'm going to go ahead and hand it back to Andrew to go over billing and invoicing.
Awesome. Thanks, Amber. Perfect. So I wanted to pick us back up here for the final piece of our demo today. And circle back to our slide here for just a moment. And so we've completed the onboarding, the placement, the time, and now the payroll process with Bullhorn One, and all of our workers are getting paid accurately and on time. So the final stop for our demo today is going to be with the billing and invoicing, which is also subject to automation and the same time interpretation rules that we've been talking about. So what we're looking at right now is our billing list view, which provides us the detail and the insight into where each billable charge is at in the process before, during, and after invoice generation. And as part of the invoicing automation, we're also able to set all of our billing and invoicing parameters, really important things like payment terms, delivery options, and especially invoicing, formatting, and display templates. All of those details can be set at the customer level. So when it comes time for an invoice to be generated, it has now inherited all of the invoicing requirements and is formatted to the exact specifications of your customers. Now, within my billing list view, I'm going to take a quick peek here at all of Jack's invoicing details. And so at the same time that all of his pay information was sent over to Greenshades for payroll processing, that same data is being leveraged to generate the invoice for his assignment at Bose Corporation. And so here's a quick example of what the invoice may look like, which has all of those billing parameters and details that we set at the customer level and apply it to the formatting and the configuration of the invoice, including things like logos and branding and other display options and configurations. Now, once all of the components of the invoice are reviewed and validated, you can then very quickly and easily export those invoice details right to your general ledger, whether it's on a one-on-one basis or, of course, being able to automate and do that in mass on a weekly basis there as well. This will transmit over to your general ledger where you can continue to maintain your AR, cash posting, and other accounting-related activities. So the idea here with the invoicing process in Bullhorn is that this is a streamlined and efficient workflow all the way from the intake of the worker to the point where they're placed. And then now we're invoicing the customer each week on an assignment tailored to their specifications. So this provides a total alignment between your front, your middle, and your back office operations all within a single platform. Now, when we think about evaluating everything that we've seen on our demo today, it is imperative to provide comprehensive insights into the health and the performance of the business, whether you are an executive, a leader, or a frontline producer. And what we're looking at right now is just one example of what a pay and bill dashboard can look like in Bullhorn. So we want to provide all layers, teams, and departments within the organization insights and metrics around everything that's happening within the business. And in this case, we've got a very specific focus on the details for our pay and bill charges. Now, this type of reporting can be leveraged to help identify operational efficiency within the business. Where are we hitting any bottlenecks? Which of our customers are the most profitable? How do our payables look week over week or month over month? Now, additionally, this information can be leveraged to report on things like what are my most profitable jobs and which placements have the best margins that help your team determine where they should be spending the bulk of their time and effort each and every week. And so by being able to report and ultimately slice and dice this information, it provides a full 360-degree view of the business from sales and recruiting all the way through pay and bill, which helps firms make strategic business decisions based on real data, as well as reduce risk and provide transparency into the health and wellness of the business. So as we look to wrap up our demo for today, I wanted to circle back to our platform slide for just a moment as a quick recap of everything that we've covered. And in summary, Bullhorn as a platform working in tandem with Greenshades as a best-of-breed payroll solution provides a total end-to-end experience for light industrial staffing firms who are looking to centralize, automate, and digitize their operations in a platform. And so with that seamless integration, Bullhorn One empowers firms to provide an incredible candidate and an incredible customer experience while automating many of the administrative tasks typically associated with middle and back office. If you're interested in learning more about Bullhorn One or any of the content discussed today, please reach out to your Bullhorn account manager or sales contact to start those discussions. Thank you.